Welcome to Bloodbath and Beyond. Today we review Rogue. How fast can you swim?
I mean, there's an animal out there and it's hunting us.
From the writer and director of Wolf Creek, Greg McLean, this movie stars Michael Vartan, Radha Mitchell, Sam Worthington, and John Jarratt. This movie's about Pete. He's a journalist, a travel journalist, before vlogs were a thing. He'd probably be a vlogger now, I think, who goes down under, that's Australia, and he's kind of stranded there and has nothing to do, so he's like, I'll just go on this crocodile adventure. And it turns out to be the worst decision of his entire life.
All right, we've just seen what looks like a distress flare, so we're going to take a quick run upriver and see if anyone's in trouble.
And then they are stalked and killed by a massive crocodile. This is a recommendation from Patreon from Anthony Michelli. He's been around forever. And we've had this on our queue for maybe 3 months. But we finally checked this out, the unrated edition. And I checked the versions, and the R-rated version and this, there's no gore that's been cut. So why it's unrated is just to get that Dimension Extreme thing on the Blu-ray. There's nothing extreme about this movie. We went into this thinking, oh, I can't wait for this gore fest. And like most of the kills don't even happen on screen. But we'll get into it. What do we like?
I like our crocodile. I think that's where we gotta start off. There is an above average size creature stalking its prey. I don't wanna say giant because I don't know how big crocs can get.
This isn't a mega boa, and it's not like a super shark.
Or like a crocosaurus.
No, it's just like 18-foot croc.
This was a big croc.
Nearly all CG. The CG is pretty evident and noticeable and certainly dated. It doesn't quite blend into some of the environments, and it was a bit of a letdown, but we do have moments of practical, like, crocodile head.
Maybe crocodile tail at some points. At least we got a showdown with a giant crocodile.
You can't ask for more. It's not like the same story as Jaws, but it certainly borrows a lot of inspiration, a lot of the camera work. They do fake you out a few times. There are certain situations where people are just like evidently about to get eaten and just don't.
And people who do get eaten, man, I was not expecting them to die so fast. Lots of curveballs.
Yeah, we're trying to like not spoil everything because it's not one of those kind of movies where it would be fun to just talk about the entire thing. We could spoil everything in like 2 seconds and it's just like, okay, well, video over. And well, that just doesn't get the good clickies. Mind you, we don't review stuff like Rogue for the clickies, a 2007 fucking crocodile movie. We would have done Crawl like 2 years ago and really capitalized on that market with some Lake Placid series, which I hope to do at some point, especially with the recent passing of Betty White. Oh my God. Remember she was in that? She was feeding the poor croc.
Raised it from what was a little dial.
She is to blame for the fucking Lake Placid massive alligator.
Come and get it!
Thanks to this film, we have learned a lot of crocodile facts.
Hit me with one.
Crocodiles can fly.
Well, okay, he's fibbing a little bit. They can leap out of water, which is terrifying.
Use their tail as a propeller.
Don't worry, man, we're perfectly safe on this boat. They won't attack anything bigger than they are.
How big is this boat?
Big enough.
Not only can it attack you in the water, it can also attack you on the land, and it can leap over your boat Free Willy style. I would be so pissed. And dead.
That's why we need more croc movies. We've seen a lot of croc movies, but we've never reviewed any.
I thought you were saying, oh yeah, we've seen a lot of croc movies, like croc of shit movies, which is accurate. And if you want more of those kind of reviews, check out our other channel, Bloodbath TV. We go in depth on a lot of those hidden gems from the mid-2000s. This wasn't a hidden gem, so it didn't go over on that channel. In general, I thought the cast was pretty good. I think Radha Mitchell absolutely killed it as Kate. She's the tour guide.
One of the rules of my tour is that you have only one chance to complain about the heat and the flies.
Like everything she does just like is believable. And I gotta commend her because she would be delivering these monologues and there'd be flies just like landing on her actual eyeball and she doesn't even budge. She's just like continues with her speech, guiding the tour, talking about alligator facts and crocodile facts, and it was good.
And of course we had John Jarratt, who is Mick Taylor from the Wolf Creek franchise.
What the bloody hell are you buggers doing out here?
I like that he's in this movie. I don't necessarily know if I like his character though.
If we don't get across right now, it's gonna be too late. All right, you understand?
We had the guy from Avatar. He had some kind of relationship with Kate, but he's kind of like the douchebag. Then there's the new guy, Pete, nicknamed Four Eyes.
The fuck are you gawking at, Four Eyes?
He's the American guy. They butt heads.
I don't know, I got the brochure but didn't say anything about assholes.
But you've got like the typical like overcoming your differences to try and defeat the thing.
Actually, that's one thing I found interesting about the character development. A lot of people we see at the beginning, you either hate or like, and then their characters like switch later on. For example, Russell, who is John Jarratt's character, you feel huge sympathy for him when you just see that like depressing shot of him pouring his wife's ashes. When they get on this little island, he turns into like a huge dick, and then all of a sudden you go into like sympathy mode.
I'm really sorry about your husband. I can't imagine what it must be like to not have a chance to say goodbye.
And we got the same thing with like Neil. He shows up as this asshole, and next thing you know, you're like, this guy's being great and a hero. And then there's like characters like the photographer.
Dude, that is a beautiful camera. I mean, she's no digital SLR.
I don't know what kind of feelings I had for him.
I hated that guy. That guy's a fucking idiot.
Risk your life for a six-pack?
Now there's where I can relate. But if it was like a jug of Crown Royal, that 100%. So their boat crashes, but the tide's rising in this river.
Well, see that bunch of trees up there? Well, that's how high the tide will be when it comes in. Yeah, the whole bloody place will be underwater.
So that's why they are being stalked by this crocodile, and they need to get off the island before it sinks. What a shitty situation. I can certainly say that if I was gonna make a fire, especially after having the knowledge that the water is rising, I would have made it not at the lowest point on the island. I would have put it on the top. These guys are kind of dumb sometimes. We don't want to spoil any of the major kills because that's basically the only important aspect of this movie, so we're really dodging and trying to come up with things to talk about here. Why don't we go to our dislikes then? They're decisions. So just like I said, that should have probably been over in this section, but we're here now.
I think just the story in general is a dislike for me. This film feels like it has a big gap in it. This isn't really a spoiler, but our characters do get off the island. It would be a spoiler if it was like at the end and only one or two characters get off, but like the entire cast is able to escape.
Minus some people that die.
But majority gets off of the island. And then all of a sudden, they're split up and the movie ends.
They don't wrap up any loose ends with like the character relationships that they've been building. There's gonna be some kind of like really great moment between all of these people, or some of these like assholes will die, and it's just like, nah, they just live and they just go, and somehow helicopters just randomly find them. Now here's my biggest gripe. This isn't a shark movie. Why didn't the crocodile just go on the land and eat all the people? We watch a crocodile movie because, oh, we've seen so many shark movies, we're sick of them. But not really. We put on a crocodile movie expecting more crocodile action. Why is the crocodile just acting like a damn fish? They talk about how smart these things are. They go after everything that like comes close to their territory. Well, this little island seemed to be their territory. Just walk on the goddamn island and eat the people.
They see the flare, so someone must have shot that flare. So then they go to this location, they see the busted up boat, no one is to be found. And you've built up another story point to only not show us a character.
It's just like an easy way to get our main characters from point A, from safety into danger without properly making a story. I'm not a fucking movie writer or director. I do love Wolf Creek, and I think that Greg McLean is pretty good at what he does, but it just seemed a little bit sloppy. And I know that there's a lot of people, especially the people that are probably searching up reviews for Rogue, that this is their favorite movie. Anthony Michelli was like, I can't wait for you guys to check this movie out. I'm sorry, Anthony. It's fine, but there's nothing that differentiates this from a random shark movie.
There's nothing that is shown in this film. That is probably one of the biggest disappointments, is a lot of the kills that we get, they're off screen. And like not even like off screen to the point where it's like you hear the scream or something happens. No, when a character gets gobbled by a dial.
Say that like that's a normal fucking term. Oh, getting gobbled by a dial.
Gobbled by the dial. Our first one, you blink and you miss it.
no scream, no blood, no indication that anything has happened except a guy is missing. And that happens multiple times. There are a couple moments where you're just like, ooh, damn, that was kind of gruesome. But that's like right at the end, and it like doesn't really matter at that point. The last act just like drags. I mean, it's fun, and it is a different locale because we have a protagonist fighting a crocodile. Like, that's cool. We want to see that. But it's more like hide and seek than it is like a fight. It's just not the killer crocodile movie you want, I think. Or that I want.
I live on the ground. Y'all are just tourists.
But I don't want that killer croc either, so I don't know what I want, honestly.
Maybe Lake Placid?
Maybe Lake Placid. Throwback to a classic. You know, as we get older, like, this is a classic. This is people's Lake Placid. We've been doing this channel for like 9 years almost. And so like, there's a lot of people that are coming to this channel that probably weren't even born when Lake Placid came out.
Imagine what's gonna happen when we review Anaconda.
Who is J-Lo? I saw somebody talking about Justin Timberlake the other day, and they had no idea that Justin Timberlake was in NSYNC. I think people are going to be shocked when they find out Dwayne Johnson was a wrestler.
It's about drive, it's about power. We stay hungry, we devour.
Let's go on to our final thoughts and ratings. At the end of the day, I wasn't a huge fan of this movie. It was fine for what it was, but I don't know if it's because it's dated, or I just didn't like the story, or I've just seen this concept done better, both before and after, that it just didn't feel interesting or unique in any way. That sounds like I hated it, but I didn't really. Like, I enjoyed myself watching it, but I won't watch it again. It's whatever. So I'm gonna give this 2.5 live baits out of 5.
I was surprisingly disappointed with this film. I like a good creature feature. The croc didn't disappoint me. It was more the decisions that the characters made. We spent all that time investing in these characters and nothing really happened with them. I felt like there was a lot of missed opportunities, in particular with the kills. But it's not a bad film, though I don't think I would recommend it, because there's other crocodile ones out there I think are way cooler. So with that being said, I'm gonna give this film 2 bad services out of 5.
No, the service here sucks, dude. Whatever. Why do you think I took this shitty job?
As always, thank you for watching. Like this video and comment below with your thoughts on the film if you've seen it. And let me know if you thought that Australia was only a big desert and didn't have a big river and all of this stuff. Because that shocked me. I forgot to mention this earlier. Isn't that crazy? I guess I should use this time to also tell you that Canada isn't just igloos. Anyway, subscribe to this channel, subscribe to the other channel, Bloodbath TV. Link is in the description and the pinned comment. And if you want to recommend anything for us to review, go to the Patreon and support us and join the movie nights and stuff. All right, well, we'll see you on the other channel.